What is up, everybody? It is the Big Dog back for Dino Fury Season 2, Episode 1, titled Numero Uno. I know Gaz already posted his video of his review that he did a couple days ago. I was on a trip with my wife, so seeing it a little bit later than him and probably some of you guys, but wanted to get my review up kind of in the spirit of how we started these Dino Fury reviews, honestly, of just getting um, my take and his take separately. And then obviously this week we're going to come back and review episode 2 together. But with that in mind, Numero Uno, really cool. I liked it. I thought it was a solid opener for the season. If I keep looking to the side, it's because I have it playing in the background just to kind of remind me of different points. But right out of the gates, I mean, it's got the full-blown Netflix logo in the beginning. It says it's a Netflix series. That, to me, seems promising. I feel like, to be honest, with kind of the constraints of having it on Nickelodeon, you need to have episodes released at a certain time. You need to have it weekly. You need to, do all this stuff. And having it on Netflix, I think, streamlines so much of that. So many people like to binge a show anyway, where the only downside is for people like Gazbot and I, where we review it a little bit slower. We just have to avoid spoilers. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we do. But for now, knock on wood, haven't been spoiled. Numero uno, that was solid. Initial thoughts, only really had a handful, maybe 2-3 tops, issues with the episode, but everything was great. Intro's cool. Only downside is kind of saw Void Knight was back in the intro, but by the end of the episode, we kind of see that anyway, so not a huge deal, but just kind of a bummer. What else? Theme song's the same, but the way they cut it, I think, is a little bit better than last season, personally. And yeah, I'd say just diving in. Love straight out of the gate. We just see action. We see the Rangers fighting Asporix. They're timing themselves. Definitely a good season opener, whether it be, an established team that we haven't met yet and we're kind of diving in and kind of playing catch up, or in this case being a season 2, we already know a lot of the backstory of everybody and we just kind of get in the action. The Rangers are fighting. Amelia is currently in charge of Buzz Blast, which is kind of cool. Javi's working in Buzz Blast for once. Like, everybody is doing things and it's catching us up in a very cool way, and it doesn't feel rushed and it doesn't feel too slow. So I really enjoyed that. The pressures of Buzz Blast are definitely affecting Amelia, and we get to see that as the episode progresses. But I think she's doing a solid job so far. It kind of just highlights how either Jane is super efficient or doesn't care nearly as much as Amelia. She and Jay Borg are in a hot air balloon trip doing a documentary, so might not see them for a while as kind of the episode starts. So that's kind of setting the stage there. And as we continue, we see the Rangers go back to base. They have the Saber of Void Knight. They have it in this weird charging station thing. It looks cool. I just don't know why it's in the thing it's in. What else? Ollie's mom is at an institute in Japan, which is really cool. Talking about doing more studying of, I'm assuming, dinosaurs and things like that. I didn't pay too much attention, but it's cool that they kind of show where she's at. What else was happening? Really just everybody thinks Void Knight is back except for Amelia. She thinks he's gone. We see some good jokes in the beginning, to be honest, where Ollie, Zato, and Ion are looking at stars to try to see where Rafcon would be right now, and kind of showing Stranger in a Strange Land kind of thing of like, oh, you guys should just go to the library and look at, I don't know about this library person, and good kind of showing like, oh, you don't totally understand Earth culture, which is fine, but somehow you can read English, so we'll just ignore that part of it, whatever. So we keep on going, and let's see. So now that Void Knight's gone, Mucus and Slither are trying to break into a secret room, but then he pops up on the screen, and I really liked that they were initially skeptical. They're like, are you an imposter? I don't really know. And then we get, I think it's Bitscream is the name of the villain that pops out. I love, just in any media, like cyber-based villains like this. I love it. They're super tropey. They're super campy. This one happens to have like one of the coolest designs, I think, of any monster we've seen on the show thus far. Definitely my personal favorite. I love the aesthetic. I love the powers. I love just the banter. Like, I love all of it. So really, really cool. Like kind of the scorpion aesthetic with the kind of claw hands, and there's a little tail on the back, and the way he speaks is cool. A lot of good puns throughout. Like, just awesome overall. Really liked it. Thought like all this part was solid. If they make a Lightning Collection figure, or even like honestly a basic figure, I would 100% get of this. Like, I just love this design and really cool. But Void Knight is back. They definitely need something to get Void Knight kind of back in the swing of things. The Rangers kind of are split right now, all doing different things, but 3 of the Rangers end up fighting Bitscream, and in doing so, we find out he can travel through any technology. So he jumps through a cell phone, he jumps through a camera, things like this, and then they end up wrecking a flower salesman cart thing, which initially I thought, I'm like, that is super weird and odd, and I don't know why that's in here. And initially I didn't like it, and then by the end of the resolution of it, finding out that it was Slider in disguise, loved it. I actually made a mental note when I was looking, I'm like, those are specific glasses. I guess they, recycled them from Mr. Wiz, but okay. Like, I'm fine with them reusing props, and then find out, nope, I was right. It was Slider, so that was really cool. Only real thing, first nitpick of this episode, awesome fight. Like I said, good banter. The flower salesman, like, kind of guilts them into helping him, like, get his cart back together. I don't know how he knows there's a key that does this, but they all use these different keys to fight Bitscream and then also help the cart salesman. And one of them they use is called a fix-it key. Biggest MacGuffin ever. Like, so many different names you could have called it, so many things it could have done differently. Like, I don't love that part. And I thought it was going to be like, oh, okay, we just see it fix this cart really quick. Nope. It is a primary plot of this episode where it's like, okay, sure, you could have called it a rejuvenation key, and it could have brought the flowers back to life, and that's why Void Knight needed it. Could have been a reboot key, which goes to what they were saying with, what's it called? Bitscream or whatever. Like, check minus. Don't like the fix-it key. Wish it was something different. Wish it just wasn't in the episode. Whatever. Like, it's so specific. What I did love, though, is they were kind of gloating. Bitscream just straight up takes it and leaves. Love that part. Love showing the hubris of the Rangers sometimes where they're just very, ha-ha, we helped you with this right here, and then get it taken away. So that was really cool. Glad that was kind of handled that way. Good, weird pot that he puts, I don't know. I'm glad they, like, weren't skeptical, because I obviously didn't notice right away, but really cool that, like, somehow Slider came up with this plan that was actually awesome, and I didn't totally see it right away, so that was cool. Amelia, again, is just, dealing with stuff at Buzz Blast. That's obviously going to become an issue for the episode. Right here, though, really, really cool. So they're looking at the footage of the fight earlier, figuring out they were duped, it was a setup, but I love right here that Izzy notices that, oh wait, hang on, I think that's Bitscream, like, spying on us, and instead of making it a, like, thing where everybody has to be fully aware right away, she just enacts this plan on her own, understands what's going on, everybody's like, what the heck are you doing, saying whatever, she comes up with this fake plan to blow up the saber of Void Knight to try to draw, all them out. Because they're pretty sure Void Knight's alive, and this is an easy way to do it. So she does this plan. Everybody kind of doesn't know what's going on. Zato kind of catches on right away, which, again, great Red Ranger, great leader, appreciate it. And everybody else is like, I don't understand what you're doing. You're making no sense. And then the two of them sync up, and they're like, yup, this is why I did it, blah, blah, blah. And they start to enact their plan. The villains are like, hey, we got to get this back. Good job, Bitscream, for finding out this info, blah, blah, blah. They go to Dino Henge, and they make these theatrics of like, oh, we're gonna blow up the bomb now, blah, blah, blah. And I love how like they actually call out how bad the acting is. I really appreciate that. I thought everybody acted poorly, but like Amelia specifically calls out Ollie again, with their relationship or not relationship, whatever you want to call it. So they keep on going there. And again, this is where Amelia being tied between her personal life and her ranger life kind of conflict because I don't know why everybody had to leave and just leave her there. B, I don't know. All the Rangers leave and they look at Slither and Mucus and they're like getting ready to fight them or something. And then Amelia takes a work call and is distracted. And then Bitscream steals a saber. Even if she wasn't on that call, I don't know how she would have like jumped over there or stopped it where he's just like, whoop, thanks. Like they needed somebody closer or somebody like watching to help. So I understood what they were going for. I think the way like it was shot in terms of spacing and positioning and stuff like didn't make a ton of sense, but whatever. Cause yeah, he pulls it. She saw right away. He leaves like, yeah. There could have been different ways of staging it. Maybe setting a trap or something. I don't know. Didn't totally bother me. Just wasn't, the best part of this kind of plan. The other thing I don't get is why everybody's so like cool with her being this distracted. Like in episodes past, anytime somebody like does something even remotely wrong, they just immediately jump at the other person like, you're wrong, oh, I hate you, you ruined this, blah, blah, all this. And like everybody's oddly cool. And I don't know if they always should have been oddly cool or shouldn't have been oddly cool and then just kind of should have like been more mad at her. I don't know. Team Morph is awesome. I don't know what really they did differently other than maybe the direction of like how they shot it, but like this Team Morph looks awesome. It's very cinematic. It's very cool. Like good close-ups when needed, shows everybody. Even like when they do their individual poses, nothing we haven't seen before, but somehow how it's presented was better. So however they did it here, I hope we see that kind of through the rest of the season. One thing I forgot to mention earlier is Javi somehow gets highlighted like 3 different times doing the Stego Fury strike, which I thought was cool, but like they didn't really explain it. They're just like, yep, he's just doing this often to try to deal with the monsters. Okay, whatever. Hopefully everybody else gets around as the season progresses, but we get all that. Zato gets the Zord combo with the like twin raptor like portal making Zords. And goes and fights in the cyber dimension, which is a funny callback to Action Activate because the cyber dimension of evil is what we always called wherever the bad guys went in Beast Morphers, and this was kind of like a low-key callback to that just for us, which is kind of funny. But he goes and fights Bitscream in there. A lot of great puns. None of the puns I hated. I liked all of them. I thought it was great. Really cool fight. Good attacks back and forth. Like, that was solid. Very cool stuff. I don't know why he had to go by himself again. That's the only thing I don't understand, but, whatever. Spread the resources, if it goes bad, like, he's the only one missing. I kind of get that. Kind of cool effects overall, too. Like, I didn't mind this. But, yeah, good fight overall. So we see Void Knight at the base. Spoiler, he's alive. And he has this, like, very interesting getup. I actually like it personally, but he's like this weird, like, Mad Max, like, punk rocker, way too many chains. He's got, like, military stuff on him, which to me, like, again, maybe he is involved in RAFCON, and that's kind of my call shot, but, like, he's got his armor on the side, and he used the reboot key to fix it, and somehow his armor's not, like, his morphed kind of sequence, which, again, hopefully they explain, but, like, kind of interesting overall that, like, that's the deal. But he, like, reboots it. It's all fresh again. He puts it on. This I thought was cool. He does, like, his kind of evil kind of, like, power up and stuff. All this I thought was good. Like, they could have done this from the get-go for Void Knight, and, like, we could have never seen what he looks like until now and just seen that, like, he's trying to save somebody. And I think it would have arguably been better. Like, Void Knight's destroyed. Oh, it's actually a person. Oh, like the armor's like that. All that kind of reveal I think would have been really cool. Because before this, they're like, oh, it's Void Knight. It's a person I've never seen before. Like this to me was the way to do it. So again, could be direction style. Could be what we've said in previous episodes where they had to double the amount of episodes they actually wanted to write. So I don't know. But no, this part super cool. He, again, we see his goal. He wants to resurrect his love. That was one confirmation. Because I don't think before he said if it was his love or his sister or a friend or whatever. But okay, we have established now through one line that they are romantically involved. Very happy that this is a thing. Glad they cleared that up. It's, already there. There was a lot of it that was, kind of insinuated, but we got that out of the way. Good stuff. They don't know if Bitscream is destroyed. There's a good cat video joke, which I appreciated. And then the laptop explodes. There's a Sporix there. They go to get it. Void Knight, super cool villain, comes in, takes it. It's like, yep, I'm back. Get ready. Does the cool superhero pose with the sword in the back. All this I love. Great stuff. Again, makes him feel menacing and like a force that we should be concerned about. Before that, he honestly wasn't a big deal in my mind. And now he actually has that kind of gravitas and stuff I like. They go back to Buzz Blast. This is another part that I had mixed feelings about. So they go back. Amelia's like, look, I can't do both these things. I'm going to have to tell Jane, I can't handle Buzz Blast. She has to come back. I can't run it. I need to be a ranger. Coincidentally, Jane and Jayborg come back. They talk about kind of their trip and their hot air balloon and all this stuff that went. All that stuff, totally fine. Whatever. Great. Why'd your trip end? Oh, well, the hot air balloon got destroyed over a volcano, and Jayborg had to use boosters because Jayborg has all these abilities, even though she's they make her a total goof that doesn't do anything, but whatever. And then they're like, yeah, so we have these weeks worth of footage. We're going to make this documentary. It's going to be great. And then they're like, yeah, and it's in this trusty, secured case that just crumbles into dust. Why? Either lose it on the trip, have the inside of it be destroyed and all melted and not usable, but the fact that it lasted through that volcano, through the trip back, whatever, and then you carried it and you put it down and you pick it back up and it crumbles, dumb, lazy. Everything up until this point has been great. The two lazy things, the fix-it key and that, are just not excusable. You guys are better than that. You can come up with a better way. It's not a budget issue. It's just a laziness issue, in my opinion. Just make it better. It was dumb. And the handle still, yeah. She's holding on to the handle. Everything else crumbles. Super dumb. Jane's not stoked about it. Jayborg actually has a fun line of the memories. We'll still have the memories. And Jane's like, oh God, guess we are just, wasted months or weeks or however long it's been of our life. And then, the Rangers are like, hey, we're going to, keep on keeping on. So overall, good episode. I would give it, it was pretty solid. I feel like A- is really high. I'm going to go B+ and be conservative. Fix-It Key was just the biggest MacGuffin of all time. Everything else was great. Monster was great. The end didn't ruin it for me, but again, it was guys have the capabilities to make me not hate Jane and Jayborg, but somehow you just put in this lazy stuff, and I don't know what else to say other than it's just super lazy. But yeah, good, super good. Good opener. Excited to see the rest now that we know, this is the one. We've been building up to season 2. There was a lot of filler in season 1, and, I hope everything else continues to go well and pay off, and I hope I don't get spoiled. And we got, 10 or 11 more episodes to review, so excited to dive back in with Gazbot this week. If anything I said was incorrect, let me know. If you have any differing opinions, let me know. If you agreed with stuff, let me know. But until next time, I have been and continue to be the Big Dawg Defender, and to the power. See you guys later.